Hello everyone and welcome to Bhanzi classes. So I hope all of you are doing great and are super duper excited for today's session because today what we are going to do is practice and lots of practice. So as we know, practice makes us perfect. So as we have finished with the chapter rational numbers, so now it's time for us to practice the questions based on all the concepts. So sit with your notebooks and a pen and let's get started with the first question for the day. List 5 rational numbers between the given rational numbers, which are minus 4 by 5 and minus 2 by 3. So since first of all we can see that the denominators are not the same. So what do? We should make the denominator same. How? First of all, take the LCM. Why? Because both the denominators are prime numbers. So 5 into 3 is 15, right? So if we have to make minus 4 by 5 with the denominator as 15, what should we do? We should multiply it by 3 by 3. So we'll get minus 12 in the numerator, right? And if you see the second one, it's minus 2 by 3 and the denominator should be 15. So it should be multiplied by 5 by 5, which give us minus 10 by 15. But as you can see that list 5 rational numbers, but between minus 12 and minus 10 we have only one. So what should we do? We can multiply it by another number to increase the value of the denominator so that we'll have more rational numbers. So what did we got now? If I multiply it by minus 10 by 10, I'll get minus 120 by 150 and minus 100 by 150. So now we have so many rational numbers between minus 120 by 150 and minus 100 by 150, right? So what should we do? We should write the rational numbers between them. How many? They are asking us for 5 rational numbers. So it can be minus 119 by 150, right? Minus 118 by 150. Minus 117 by 150, minus 116 by 150 and last minus 115 by 150. You can write more such rational numbers till 101 by 150 because we have more rational numbers between them. So what did we do? First of all, we have to take out the LCM and make the denominators same if the denominators are not the same. So as and when you have made the denominator same, you observe that you don't have enough rational numbers which they are asking for. So we had increased the denominator and last but not the least, we have written any 5 rational numbers which we are supposed to, right? So let's move ahead and see the answer to it. So here we have converted it by multiplying it by 3 into 3, so the denominator is 45. You can also multiply it by 10 by 10, it will be 150. You can also multiply it by 5 also, which will be giving you the denominator as 75. So there are many such ways because there are infinite rational numbers between 2 rational numbers. So let's move ahead and see another question over here. Draw the number line and represent the following rational number on the number line. So let's see how do we represent the number minus 5 by 8 on the number line. So here we have a number line and now we are going to mark its numbers over there. So here it's 0, right? Then it says minus 5 by 8. So first of all, as you can see that the denominator is greater than the numerator if you ignore the minus sign, right? So that means it's a proper fraction. So this would lie between 0 and minus 1. So minus 1 would actually be in this case minus 8 by 8. Right? Because the denominator is 8. So what will we do? This would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this would be minus 8 by 8, which is actually minus 1. Right? So let's mark the numbers. Minus 1 by 8, minus 2 by 8, minus 3 by 8, minus 4 by 8, minus 5 by 8, minus 6 by 8, and minus 7 by 8. The other ones would be minus 9 by 8 and minus 10 by 8. So what they are asking us to mark is minus 5 by 8. So let's mark minus 5 by 8 over here. So always cater to whether the numerator is greater than the denominator or not, right? If it's not, then we will see the number lie between 0 and -1. If it's a negative rational number, if it's a positive, it would lie between 0 and 1, right? So this is how your number line would look like. Got it, everyone? Great. Let's move ahead to the next question for the day, where you have to rewrite the following rational numbers in the simplest form. So what's the simplest form? The standard form, where the numerator and denominator should have the highest common factor as 1. But in the first one, as you can see, they have 5. So let's divide it by 5 and we would get 5 by 9. For the second one, if you see, we would divide it by another number which is 2, right? So for 2, we would get minus 22 by 36, right? Again, we can divide it by 2. So we would get minus 11 by 18. So you can also directly divide it by 4 to get your answer, to get the simplest form of it, right? So always try to find the highest common factor before you do division. Like here we had seen it's 5, but here instead of doing it by 2 and 2, which I had shown you, which would take time and more number of steps, directly divided by the highest common factor, right? So moving ahead to the next question for the day, write the following rational numbers in ascending order. So what is ascending order? Where we arrange the numbers from smaller to bigger, right? So the denominators are not the same. So first of all, your job is to find out the LCM. So LCM in this case is 9, right? Of 3 and 9. So first, the middle rational number is already having the denominator 9. For the other ones, we are going to make it 9 by multiplying it by 3 by 3. So we get the first rational number as minus 3 by 9 and the second one as minus 12 by 9. So now we have all the three rational numbers with the same denominator, which is 9, right? So here what will we do? Once you get all the denominators as same, now we have to arrange in ascending order, right? What was the question? Question was asking in ascending order, which is smaller to bigger. So in negative numbers, the smaller number is greater. So the smallest one would be minus 12 by 9, then minus 3 by 9, then minus 2 by 9. So if you see, minus 2 by 9 is already in the simplest form, but minus 3 by 9 can be written as minus 1 by 3 and minus 12 by 9 can be written as minus 4 by 3. So got the numbers, right? This is the ascending order of the given question, right? So moving ahead, let's see the next question for the day, where we have to solve minus 9 by 10 and plus 22 by 15. First important thing, the denominators are not the same. So let's find out the LCM. What would be the LCM of 10 and 15? 10 and 15, the LCM, we need to find it out by common division method. So we are dividing it directly by 5 and we get 2 and 3. So these both are also prime numbers, right? You can start with the smallest prime number also. So we got the LCM as 5 into 2, which is 10, 10 into 3, which is 30. So the denominator should be 30 in this case. How do we make it? By equivalent rational numbers. So let's see. So for making the denominator as 30, we need to multiply the first one by 3 into 3 and the second rational number by 2 into 2. So once we do that, what do we get? We get minus 27 by 30 plus 44 by 30. Now since the denominators are same, we are going to take it common and add the numerators. So it is minus 27 plus 44, which is 17 by 30. How did we got that? By applying the rules of integers. When you have different signs, we subtract and we put the sign of the greater number. So this is how we do addition of rational numbers when the denominators are not the same. Let's move ahead to subtraction of rational numbers. So remember, for this particular question, what we had discussed, for this particular concept, we had discussed that you can also add the additive inverse of the second rational number. So what is the additive inverse of minus 6 by 21? It would be 6 by 21. So let's move ahead and see if you have the question as now 5 by 63 plus of 6 by 21, right? We have added the additive inverse of the second rational number. Now the denominators are not the same. So let's make the denominators same by LCM, which is 63. So first rational number is already having the denominator as 63. For the second one, we need to multiply it by 3 by 3. Once you do, you get the denominator as 63. So what is 5 plus 18? It is 23. So 23 by 63 is your answer. Right? 23 by 63 is your answer. Got it? So let's move ahead and see how do we do multiplication of rational numbers. What do we do? Multiply the numerator by numerator and denominator by denominator. But before that, do check if we can have the simplified form of it. So here we don't have any simplified form. So directly we are going to multiply. We would get minus 6 into 9, which is minus 54, and 5 into 11, which is 55. So this is your direct answer over here. Minus 54 by 55. Do present the steps that you have to multiply the numerator by numerator and denominator by denominator. Right? Let's do the last question for the day, where we have division of rational numbers. So now in this division of rational numbers, I hope everybody remembers the reciprocal concept. So what do? Minus 3 by 13. Division becomes multiplication. Minus 4 by 65 would be minus 65 by 4, right? So 13 1, 13 5s are minus minus can get cancelled, right? So you are left with 5 into 3, which is 15. So 15 by 4 is your answer for this particular division question. Let's see how do we present the steps like this. So this was all about the practice session of rational numbers. So keep practicing more questions, keep exploring till we meet next, and spark your curiosity. Bye-bye.